Let's talk about the meaning of illnesses and emotions in our bodies, because there are so many secrets to be revealed. Today, we're going to decode the messages of the body, our emotions and our physical symptoms. On the last video, we explored our soul's way of communicating with us, the very subtle and yet profound form of communication called intuition and inspiration. We explored how to tune into it, trust it, and act upon this internal wisdom that is constantly guiding us and supporting us. In this video, we are going to explore how illnesses and emotions are also messages that we get through our bodies, and how every single emotion and every single illness that we get has a very specific message and something that wants to tell us. So first, let's talk about emotions. Emotions are energy, and just as we are energy, when we negate or avoid feeling an emotion that we already have in our bodies, it can create a clutter. It can create like a clogged pipe of stuck emotion. So we really need to feel every single emotion that we get so we can get our energy flowing the way it's supposed to be flowing. Many holistic practitioners believe that emotions have significant impact in our physical health. The theory here is that emotions that are specifically negative and traumatic and are not processed can sometimes cause or develop into physical symptoms, and then can sometimes turn into illnesses. So, if these illnesses are messages that we are getting through our bodies, if these unprocessed emotions are messages we are getting through our bodies, the faster we decipher those messages, the faster we will be able to get rid of those diseases and stuck emotions. So Marisa Peer talks about 3 A's when it comes to emotions: awareness, acceptance, and articulating it. So what it means is that when you have an emotion, the first thing you need to be is aware that you're having that emotion. So say you got into an argument and now you're feeling all worked up and super upset and angry. The first thing you need to do is be aware. Okay, I am now angry. The second thing you need to do is to accept it. Okay, this happened and I am feeling angry, and it's okay. I can feel angry. I can just deal with this anger. And the third thing is to articulate it. So whether you do it to a friend, a close person to you, a therapist, or by yourself, either out loud or in writing, you have to get this out of your system. You have to talk about it, because otherwise it just gets stuck in there. It is also said that when we are able to feel an emotion with absolutely no judgment, which means no backstory, no drama, we can get rid of that emotion in 90 seconds. So if something happens to me and I get sad or I get frustrated and I eliminate the backstory and I stop blaming and I stop trying to explain how this is not my fault or how I am right in this situation, and I just articulate this emotion, I accept it and I am aware of it, then it can take up to 90 seconds to be released of my system. I don't know about you, but for me, getting rid of an emotion in 90 seconds sounds like a golden ticket, because when I was little, I remember being angry and upset for days. Sometimes I'd have to go to sleep and just hope that the next day I'd forget about the whole drama and the entire backstory so I can release the emotion. Nobody taught me that I was able to change my thoughts and then change my emotions, and these emotions stayed within me for really long periods of time, and this caused me sometimes to get sick or to have some physical symptoms that were uncomfortable that would manifest in different ways. So now that I know this, if I can detach myself from the story and can just see myself as someone having an emotion, I can just be okay with it, feel it, and release it in 90 seconds. Try it and let me know how that goes for you. So the good news about these emotions, when they've already become physical symptoms and we cannot trace back their origins, is that there are resources that we can use, that I'm about to share with you, that we can use as maps so that we can figure out what emotion or what happened that caused us to feel that symptom. And then we can do the 3 A's on that emotion. We can be aware of it, accept it, and articulate it, and thus helping our body get that message sent and get rid faster of our physical symptom. There are 2 resources that I use that help me figure out what emotions or what type of situations are causing my physical symptoms. The first one is a book by Louise Hay called You Can Heal Your Life, where you can find a very long and comprehensive list of symptoms and illnesses and their origin or the root cause of those in terms of emotion. And the second one is an emotional dictionary called Heal Yourself and Heal, Sánate y Sana. It is originally in Spanish, but it has been translated and you can find it online. I use them all the time and it helps me amazingly to get rid of the symptoms faster and to also address these emotions that are probably unprocessed and unaddressed. In the second video of this series, I talked a little bit about my personal experience with cold sores. And every time I get a cold sore, I always go back to this emotional dictionary and I search for what's the reason. So for cold sores, it says that having a cold sore means passing a too severe judgment against someone of the opposite sex with a tendency to generalize it to the entire opposite sex. The person who has a cold sore considers someone or something to be disgusting. It also means to avoid having to kiss others or a particular person towards whom we feel anger because we feel humiliated. This anger was very close to being expressed but was held back at the last minute. It stayed on the tip of the tongue. Knowing this changed my life. It really resonated with me because it really made sense to me that every time I got a cold sore, it was after having an argument with my dad or something with my partner that left me feeling angry, feeling upset, and feeling like I wasn't able to express myself. And then that anger found another way of coming out, which was through the cold sore. Knowing it and being able to pinpoint to the exact moment that it caused it helped me to then use the 3 A's on that experiences, to be aware of my emotion, to be accepting of that emotion, and to finally articulate it and be honest with the person who was involved and then just say whatever I needed to say. And sometimes, as I said before, it was just about maybe writing a letter and then throwing it out, but just getting that anger out of my system, getting the words out of my system. And it helped me get rid of those cold sores way faster than it would normally have. Obviously, also using the power of my mind to help me heal faster. So another example that resonates with me a lot, and it probably will with many people, are digestive problems. Anything related to like a stomach ache or not being able to digest food properly. All stomach problems are directly related to the difficulty in accepting or digesting a person or an event. The person suffering from them shows intolerance and fear towards what they dislike. They resist new ideas, especially those that do not come from themselves. They have difficulty adapting to someone or something that goes against their plans, habits, and way of living. They have a very strong inner critic that prevents them from yielding and letting their heart speak, which they do not want to accept unconditionally. It is also possible that they accuse themselves of a lack of boldness. So as we've seen in this video, emotions and physical symptoms are also very specific messages that we get through our bodies. And every time we have unprocessed emotions, it can then turn into a physical symptom. So as we've seen, our emotions and our physical symptoms are more than mere sensations that we get in our bodies. They are language of their own, signaling imbalances, unresolved issues, unresolved emotions, and they are paths to healing. By incorporating Marisa Peer's 3 A's, awareness, acceptance, and articulating, we can interpret and release this message, leading us to a more harmonious life. This is it for the series on the mind, body, and soul. If you have any questions or comments on these topics, or you want to know more and learn how to harness the power of your mind to create the life that you deserve and that you want, please just send me an email and book an initial free consultation. And please don't forget to subscribe. This is Linda tuning out, but not saying goodbye.